Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Shri Radha Madhav ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 4, chapter's name, Transcendental Knowledge, verse 24. To repeat after me. Brahmārpaṇaṁ brahma-havir, brahmagnau brahmana hutam, brahmaiva tena gantavyam, brahma-karma-samādhinā, brahmārpaṇaṁ brahma-havir, brahmagnau brahmana hutam, brahmaiva tena gantavyam, brahma-karma-samādhinā, brahmārpaṇaṁ brahma-havir, brahmagnau brahmana hutam, brahmaiva tena gantavyam, brahma-karma-samādhinā. Brahmārpaṇaṁ brahma-havir, brahma hutam. Brahmārpaṇaṁ brahma-havir. Matajis? Word to word. Brahma, spiritual in nature. Arpaṇam, contribution. Brahma, the supreme. Haviḥ, butter. Brahma, spiritual. Agnau, in the fire of consummation. Brahmaṇā, by the spirit soul. Hutam, offered. Brahma, spiritual kingdom. Eva, certainly. Tena, by him. Gantavyam, to be reached. Brahma, spiritual. Karma, in activities. Samādhinā, by complete absorption. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki, a person who is fully absorbed in Kṛṣṇa consciousness is sure to attain the spiritual kingdom because of his full contribution to spiritual activities, in which the consummation is absolute and that which is offered is of the same spiritual nature. Purport. How activities in Kṛṣṇa consciousness can lead one ultimately to the spiritual goal is described here. There are various activities in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, and all of them will be described in the following verses. But for the present, just the principle of Kṛṣṇa consciousness is described. A conditioned soul entangled in material contamination is sure to act in the material atmosphere, and yet he has to get out of such an environment. The process by which the conditioned soul can get out of the material atmosphere is Kṛṣṇa consciousness. For example, a patient who is suffering from a disorder of the bowels due to overindulgence in milk products is cured by another milk product, namely curds. The materially absorbed conditioned soul can be cured by Kṛṣṇa consciousness as set forth here in the Gita. This process is generally known as yajna or activities, sacrifices, simply meant for the satisfaction of Vishnu or Kṛṣṇa. The more the activities of the material world are performed in Kṛṣṇa consciousness or for Vishnu only, the more the atmosphere becomes spiritualized by complete absorption. The word Brahma, Brahman, means spiritual. The Lord is spiritual, and the rays of his transcendental body are called Brahma Jyoti, his spiritual effulgence. Everything that exists is situated in that Brahma Jyoti, but when the Jyoti is covered by illusion, Maya, or sense gratification, it is called material. This material veil can be removed at once by Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Thus, the offering for the sake of Kṛṣṇa consciousness, the consuming agent of such an offering or contribution, the process of consumption, the contributor, and the result are all combined together, Brahman or the Absolute Truth. The Absolute Truth covered by Maya is called matter. Matter dovetailed for the cause of the Absolute Truth regains its spiritual quality. Kṛṣṇa consciousness is the process of converting the illusory consciousness into Brahman or the Supreme. When the mind is fully absorbed in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, it is said to be in samadhi or trance. Anything done in such transcendental consciousness is called yajna or sacrifice for the Absolute. In that condition of spiritual consciousness, the contributor, the contribution, the consumption, the performer or leader of the performance and the result or ultimate gain, everything becomes one in the Absolute, the Supreme Brahman. That is the method of Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Namo Mahavadhanaya Krishna Prem Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaurativase Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaya Evacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Brahmārpaṇaṁ Brahma havir brahmagnau brahmana hutam brahmaiva tena gantavyaṁ brahma-karma-samādhinā. So in this verse we can see the word Brahma is used like almost 6 times. And Prabhupada says that in this verse, this is a principle of Kṛṣṇa consciousness, which is like very important. Because this chapter speaks about transcendental knowledge. The previous verses were talking about a person who with full knowledge how he acts. And by the action, which is called akarma, we know karma, akarma and vikarma. So by doing this akarma activities, how one can be freed. Just like in a bank, there is a cashier who takes cash and provides cash also. So when he deals like that, when he gives money, he's not like accused of cheating or stealing money because he's following the process which is prescribed. So he gets no reaction. But if the person gives money from temple without asking, then we call him a cheater. So similarly, when the process is followed as per the knowledge which is given by Kṛṣṇa, you get no reaction. And when you do such activities, even though material, they become spiritualized. So before that, like how things become spiritual, we have to understand the nature of the absolute. So Srila Prabhupada tells one story in a village where the master was doing his shraddh for his father. When you do shraddh, you just don't do within small community, you do for the whole village. So he expected that his students will give him something to assist him in the shraddh. So he asked his students, Chalo, who will offer what? So due to fear of getting less marks, everybody volunteered. Yes, we will give. Somebody promised, I will provide sugar, I will provide milk, I will provide utensils. So everybody was promising something. But there was one small boy who was like from a poor background. He didn't know what to promise because he had nothing seen in his family, because he was alone with his mother and she was hardly maintaining their daily needs. So when the master asked him, okay, what you are going to promise? So he said, sincerely, Master, I will have to ask my mother. What she promises, then I will be delivering it. Okay, no problem. You go home, you ask your mother, and tomorrow then you tell me that what you are going to offer. The boy went, innocently asked his mother, Mother, my spiritual teacher, our Guruji, he wants to celebrate Shraddh for his father. And he's asking from everyone to contribute something. So what can I promise? What can you give me? The mother, with sorrow face, she tried to explain the small boy that we don't have anything. You don't have a father who can maintain us. I'm hardly earning something from doing some menial services in some places. So I have nothing to give. So the boy got disappointed that everybody will be contributing and he has nothing to offer. But then she said, but don't worry, Kṛṣṇa is there and he's Dina Bandhu. He's the helper of the persons who are fallen, Dina. And if you go for him or you call for him, he will provide everything which is needed. So boy never questioned, Kṛṣṇa kaun hai? Is he God? He just asked, okay, where can I find him? Just tell me. Then his mother told her that, okay, you can go to jungle. Many Rishi Munis, they go towards the jungle in a secluded place to search for Kṛṣṇa. So you also go, you also start searching for Kṛṣṇa. She didn't believe that the boy will definitely go. But the boy left in the forest and started calling, Dina Bandhu, oh my brother Dina Bandhu, please help me. I have to give something to my master. And he called and there was no reply except some animals' reply of some noises. But after a few seconds, when he was like helplessly calling, crying for Kṛṣṇa, then some jingle bell was coming, chan, chan, chan. And a very beautiful boy came forward. Are Baba, why you are making so much noise? Everybody is getting disturbed in this jungle. Tell me what you need. What do you want to offer? I don't know. You tell me what you can promise. Okay, you tell your spiritual master that you will give dahi. You will give one pot of curd. No problem. He accepted the deal and he went to his teacher the next day and he said, Master ji, I will offer curd. No problem. Then the next day when the Shraddh was about to happen, everybody brought like large quantity of products like sugar, 10 gona, and milk, so many liters. And this boy, he got only one small pot of curd. And he went to his spiritual master, his master teacher. When the teacher saw that I have to feed around 1,000 of people, itne se dahi mein kya hoga? What will happen from this curd? And angrily he just threw that away. And the boy just got so much upset and he left with a disappointed face. Then he got engaged in his cooking and everything, and when he returned to his room where the pot was lying, he saw the pot was as it is. Nothing was lying around. The pot was as it is, like normally, no, not broken. Curd was inside that. And he said, ये कैसे हो गया? अभी तो तोड़ के फेंका था. He again took this, फिर से फेंक देता है. और फिर से it becomes as it is. So then he understands that this is not like a normal pot. It is divya, transcendental. Then Prabhupada in that story mentions this verse. Purnasya purnamadaya purnam eva vashishyate. Because when the teacher was trying to get some curd from the pot, it was not getting empty. 1000 क्या 2000 लोगों के लिए खाना बना दिया, मगर फिर भी pot में as it is curd था. So this is the principle of absolute. You add something or you subtract something, it is as it is unchanged. There is no change in that. And this same absolute is not like what people understand. Just like I have a diary, I'll show you some example. Just like this is a piece of paper, full, complete. I break it, tear it, nothing is left. But Kṛṣṇa is not like this. Even though he distributes everything, he remains as it is, unchanged. And this is what Mayavadis and materialists can't understand. They think that the Brahman is spread so much many places. He's everywhere. So there won't be any existence of a person or something like that. He's distributed everywhere. And this is what they lack. And the Mayavadis can't understand, even normal conditioned soul can't understand that. That's why for anyone to comprehend that Param cheez एक personality है, एक इंसान है, it's so difficult for them to comprehend. Today only I met a person who was doing some dealership with the cement, and he asked me, is there God? Right? It's so easy to see God. Just like you're controlling something and someone is controlling you. So who is the absolute controller? Who is controlling this movement of the sun? How such a big planet is floating in the sky? To float this is so difficult, just a cup of water. And huge clouds are carrying like gallons and gallons of water from one place to another. Who is arranging that? I'm not arranging, neither any government agencies are arranging. There is a controller. You call it Prakriti, nature. And Kṛṣṇa says, this is my Prakriti and this is under me. So this is we have to understand that Kṛṣṇa is the person who is responsible for everything. Sarva Karana Karanam. And even though he is situated at one place, Goloka eva nivashati akhilatma bhuto. He is residing at Goloka, Vrindavan. But still, he is distributing his energies throughout the universe. And this is also one of his energies. And he is not limited or like he is reduced to anything. He is as it is. But people, for them it's very difficult to understand. There's one story, and I'm not sure it was recited by Srila Prabhupada or someone else, but it's very nice for materialist. There was once a guy who at the age of 18 got married, but still he was not satisfied with his wife, and at the age of 40 he again got married. And this time he married a very young woman. Like at the age of 40 he was marrying 20-year-old woman. So he had two wives, one 18-year-old and one 38 years old. So the guy, this middle-aged guy, he had hairs. तो आधे काले थे और आधे सफेद थे. So when this guy used to meet the younger woman, the newer wife, तो what she used to do? अरे इतने बाल सफेद हो चुके हैं, सब लोग कहेंगे this is my father. तो what she, while combing his hair, she used to plug the white hairs, ताकि काले बाली दिखे and he looks like my partner. And she used to do like that. When he used to go to his older wife, who also had some white hairs, she said, अरे ये तो मेरा बेटे ऐसे दिखेगा सफेद बाल रहेंगे तो. So she, while combing, she removed the black hairs. So one was removing black, one was removing white. In the end, कुछ नहीं बचा. Nothing was left. So this is what we are. But Kṛṣṇa is not like that. His here is everywhere. Even though we have that desire that I want to marry 16,000 women, it's so difficult to maintain. But Kṛṣṇa, for him, it was such an easy task. He had 16,000 palaces for his queens, and he expanded himself, and he was personally present each and every palace, personally associating with each and every of his queens. हमारे ऐसा नहीं है कि इधर सफेद इधर काला and कुछ भी नहीं बचा. We are so much limited, but still we have that desire to enjoy, and that due to that desire to enjoy, like Kṛṣṇa, creates enviousness within us. That's why it's so difficult to understand instruction of Kṛṣṇa, just due to this enviousness. But Kṛṣṇa is not like that. He can be everywhere. And even though he's at one place, Akhilatma Bhuto, Goloka Nivasate, but still his energy is spreading, just like this light is here above me, is situated very height, but still I can feel its presence through sunshine. और नज़दीक जाऊंगा तो हीट का भी एक्सपीरियंस होगा. तो there is a श्लोक from विष्णु पुराण, एकदेश स्थित स्य अग्निर ज्योत्सना विस्तारिणी यथा परस्य ब्रह्मणः शक्ति तथेदम अखिलम जगत. This fire, this sun is situated so far away, and now during summer we can feel the presence of sun in the form of sweat, in the form of, like, we need this AC so that we get cooled down, and it's spreading everywhere even though it's situated at one place. Similarly, Kṛṣṇa, it may be in Goloka Vrindavan, but through his energies he's spreading everywhere. And this is what this shloka is talking about. In this material world where we are contaminated, if this same material energy utilize or link with Kṛṣṇa, it gets spiritualized. It becomes absolute. There's an example of, like, when you put the metal rod in fire, with some time the metal also becomes like fire only, fire hot. It has the same quality just like the metal. So similarly, Kṛṣṇa consciousness is just the same fire where you engage yourself, engage your material body and your energy in that, and it gets spiritualized. And whatever you do in that state of consciousness is Kṛṣṇa consciousness, if it's linked with the Kṛṣṇa. Otherwise, there's an example of this knife. It's like these ladies, they are having, Mataji is having scissor. That same scissor they will use to cut flowers and make nice garlands. But if you give to a murderer, वही लेके सबको मारना शुरू करेगा. That's the state of consciousness. So if you use the same energy for Kṛṣṇa, it becomes spiritualized. If you use for own sense enjoyment, you get entangled. And you again and again revolve in this cycle of birth, death and everything. So, here it said that everything is Kṛṣṇa. Prabhupada mentions in one lecture that the sacrificer, which is mentioned here, the ingredients, the person who is offering, they all become Brahman. But there are different categories of Brahman. ऐसा नहीं है कि ये एक glass है, ये Kṛṣṇa की energy है तो ये भी Kṛṣṇa हो गया. It's Kṛṣṇa, but it's different from Kṛṣṇa. So this is what we call achinta bheda bhed tattva. Simultaneously one and different. And this is what differentiates Vaishnava philosophy from Mayavad philosophy. For Mayavadis is like, you separate it, it's separated. There is no existence of the source. When you merge in, it becomes one. But this is not Vaishnava philosophy. When you separate, it's still connected, just like a drop of water. Qualitatively, it's same like the ocean of water. But quantitatively, it's totally different. It is simultaneously same and different. This is achinta bheda bhed. Mayavadi, they don't have this conception that one is separated, it's still linked with the source. They can't imagine that because they have that material idea, just like the paper which I torn it apart. You separate it and it's empty. That's why it's so like empty. So empty. The person today who met me asked ki moksha kya hota hai? I said, don't worry about moksha. Worry about what will you do when you get moksha. That's more important. We are all worried about mukti, mukti, mukti. Ma mukti ke baad kya? We never think about that. Mukti ke baad kya? And this is what we have, the answer. Ki mukti ke baad kya karna hai? We have to serve Kṛṣṇa. This is what we know. And impersonalists, they don't know this. That's why we are so grateful that Srila Prabhupada again and again in his purpose smashing this concept of impersonalism, which we deeply have in ourselves. हम सब में मायावाद है हमारे अंदर, भर भर के भरा है. If you see, we are very impersonal. For example, prasadam, Hare Sambandha Vastunaha. Anything related to Kṛṣṇa is Kṛṣṇa. We all know that. But we eat prasadam, paneer nahi hai, acha sabji nahi hai. It's Kṛṣṇa prasadam. Kṛṣṇa itself is there. But we say, acha bhaji nahi hai. Paneer prasad hai. And everything is not prasad. This is how we differentiate. Impersonalism. You don't understand. Everything linked with Kṛṣṇa is Kṛṣṇa. This temple is related to Kṛṣṇa. This is Kṛṣṇa. So we don't have to throw garbage here and there. We have to clean it because this is Kṛṣṇa's property. So this impersonalism deeply rooted, and for them, they are always bereft of close association with Kṛṣṇa. Once in US, one guy visited the temple and he was late to visit the temple. The altar was closed and he came. Why? God is there. Why you are closing it? Let me see who is there inside. He said, no, the Lord is tired now. He will take rest. And when he heard that the Lord will take rest, he screamed, God doesn't need to rest. Because for him, God is just a stone. He doesn't know that God has feelings also. And such a guy can never do archana vidhi. He can never get the opportunity to put the Lord on the bed for sleeping. He will never get the opportunity to massage the Lord's feet, which we devotees have the chance. We can serve the Lord, we can massage the Lord, whoever is done this. Deity worship, they all know how intimate it is. We are dressing the Lord, we are bathing the Lord. It's such a close thing. And for them it's so difficult. Why? Enviousness. Due to envy, they cannot understand that God can be a person. And this is how everyone is taught now, this youth and everywhere. This is what they are learning. God doesn't exist and God can't be a person. School mein kabhi bhi, if you go with Bhagavad Gita in school, okay, let us give some seminar on Bhagavad Gita. No, Muslim logo ko bura lag jayega. They will feel bad. Okay, no problem. Muslim will come with their Quran. Let me teach something. No, Hindu logo ko bura lag jayega. Then Bible people will come. Okay, let me teach something about God, message of God. No, Hindu, Muslim dono ko bura lag jayega. But when the seminar comes, there is no God. Yes, come, please give seminar. Nicely give seminar. This is secularism, which is one way atheism. So this is what we are surrounded by. Schools, colleges, our students, our children, they are going in such schools if they don't have going in devotee school. And this is what they are taught about, impersonalism. And impersonalism, you are always bereft. That's why people who get liberated, they get temporary liberation because they go to impersonal Brahma Jyoti and they are lying around in the sky. They have nowhere to land. Srila Prabhupada says that these people, they want to go moon. But what they do? They come back again because they have no place to stay there. But we have place where we want to go. Goloka Vrindavan. We all want to go Goloka Vrindavan. We know where we want to go. And this is what we are planning for. Always getting up in the morning, first thing that we do, we take darshan of the Lord. And what we will do in Vrindavan also, we will be a bird, we will be a tree, we will be something in the spiritual world. And what we will do, the first thing, we'll go and have darshan of the Lord. This is what we are doing. We are trying to hear about Kṛṣṇa. This is what Brajvasis do. When Krishnas go to herd his cows, he goes for a long time. And they feel separation from Kṛṣṇa. So how they satisfy this separation? By talking about Kṛṣṇa, by singing about Kṛṣṇa. This is what we are doing Bhagavad Katha. Talking about Kṛṣṇa, understanding Kṛṣṇa. We are missing Kṛṣṇa. This is what we are trying to do. And by practice, we will be perfect and then we can go back to Godhead. Unless we are ready for it. Because nowadays, why people are taking spirituality? In Islam, there is a story that one lady, she came out of her house and she came with 2 buckets. In one bucket, there was fire, and in one bucket, there was water. So she said that with this fire, I'm going to burn heaven. I'm to create destruction in heaven. Okay, and what you are going to do with the water? With water, I'm to diffuse this fire of hell. You diffuse the fire of hell, no problem. But why are you burning for heaven? Then she said, because people are following religion just for 2 purposes. First, so that they can enjoy nicely in higher planets. Second, they are afraid to go in Narka Loka. This is the only reason why people are following, but not for the main reason, to love Kṛṣṇa. So as long as your desires are fulfilled, oh, Radhe Radhe, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa. When it's not fulfilled, sab bakwas hai, sab andhvishwas hai. This is what we are doing. That's why we can't be sentimental, we have to be knowledge. And this is what the shloka is talking about before this, 4.22. Yadracha labha santushto dvandvai atito vimatsaraha samha siddhav asiddhav cha kritva pi na nibhadyate. He who is satisfied with gain which comes of its own accord. We all know that Kṛṣṇa gives us the results. So the one who is satisfied with what he gets, good and bad, and he's free from duality. He doesn't lament, he doesn't complain, he doesn't hanker, and does not envy. Such a person is never entangled. So devotees, they're not affected by the result that they get materially due to their previous karmas. They're only interested in only one thing. Are they able to do their devotional service? Because we as devotees, we are also having so many reactions from past karmas. Desires that we get. But what we have to do with desires? Senses का काम है sense objects को attachment करना, या like get agitated by sense objects. This is work of the senses. But we are not these senses. We are not this body. We are spiritual. So let her do his job. And we do our job. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. किसी ने मुझे बुरा बोल दिया. He insulted me. Can he insult you? Okay, this is my karma. Okay, no problem. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. But when we are attached to this body, ऐसा कैसे बोल दिया? ऐसा कैसा बोल दिया? अभी बताता हूँ. Then you do politics, and then you do diplomacy, and then you do so many things, and then you get entangled in this. And what about chanting? होता रहेगा. I want to take revenge first. So we are not affected by that. We are affected only one thing. Am I able to chant nicely? Am I able to get up for the Mangal Arati? Am I able to sit for the Bhagavatam class? Am I listening in the Bhagavatam class? Or am I just giving attendance for coupons? Why are we doing this? If you are not doing with proper intention, with proper consciousness, then it becomes mechanical. And mechanical means impersonal. If I'm going inside the altar, I'm showing this diya just to make a show off, because second dvija, and I'm doing this. But not conscious that this is the Lord standing in front of me. Not conscious of it, then we are impersonal. When we are dressing the deity, especially the pagadi part, so many needles are there inside the pagadi. You will be scared of like anything. So many needles. If you're not conscious, तो भगवान को छुपा देंगे. Those are impersonal. क्या पत्थर ही तो क्या फर्क पड़ता? But no, this doesn't work. This is the Lord Himself. You have to be very conscious. For 1 hour you just make pagadi and you stretch your back. So this is what we have to understand. This impersonalism is deeply rooted. That's why we have to hear more about Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa's qualities. How Kṛṣṇa protects his devotee. How Kṛṣṇa maintains his devotee. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Srivas Thakur, Srivas, you are a grhastha, you are married, you have children, but you are whole day with me doing Sankirtana, day, night doing Sankirtana, inviting everyone to do Sankirtana at your home. So how do you maintain your family? Mahaprabhu, everything is managed. Somebody gives something here and there, it goes on, no problem. But sometimes things don't come, so I wait for 1 day, okay. Lord's wish, it's not coming. Second day, if it doesn't come, okay, I wait for second day. But if third day doesn't come, I'll take my wife, I'll take my children, and I will drown in the Gangas. When Mahaprabhu heard that, oh no, Shivas, don't worry. Lakshmi will be always present in your home. Nothing will happen. You don't have to do such things. And Lakshmi was always present at Srivas Thakur's home, even though he was not working. And this is what we see in devotees. Devotees, how much they are earning. Some are earning, some are not earning. But still, their life is going on. And the devotees who are satisfied with such a life, just like sometimes devotees have to think to spend 1,000 rupees. They have to think twice. For some who have ego, 2,000 की बातें ऐसे ही फेंक देंगे. But if they're restricted to spend 1,000 rupees, their mind doesn't work. They can't handle that. They can't accept that. 1,000 के लिए मैं मजबूर हो रहा हूँ. 1,000 रुपए के लिए, such ego people have. But if they accept it, this is God's situation. But I'm happy with my spiritual consciousness. Then he can be satisfied. Otherwise, this 1 lakh rupees will also not satisfy you. So this is what we have to do as devotees. We have to get satisfied. Kṛṣṇa is providing us. Arjuna Acharya, one Acharya in the south, he was writing commentary on Bhagavad Gita, 9.22. Yogo Sheme Vahameham. Vahameham, I personally protect what my devotee lacks. I protect what he has. I provide what he lacks. So Arjuna Acharya thought, Kṛṣṇa won't come himself personally. He will send through someone. So he just slashed this word, Vahameham, and he mentioned karomi aham. Kṛṣṇa arranges things. And then he left for Madhukari. And his wife was cooking in the home. And few minutes later, knock at the door. And it was like getting very heavy with time, like very intense. And the lady opened the door and she saw two beautiful boys. One very blackish, one very fair. And they were carrying a lot of luggage on their back. They were shouting, Maiya, baji auto, we have to put this luggage down at your home. And they went inside and they put down. And immediately after putting the luggage down, they said, Ab ja rahe hum, we are going now. And she has said, "Bhai, what's happening? Who are you? Who sent you? What are these things? What are these things?" The blackish boy said, "Your husband, we were just crossing nearby the road. He caught us. And he said, take this luggage to my home." And we said, "We are small boys. We can't carry so much luggage." He beated me. See the mark. See the mark. This is your husband. Such a heartless person. And when the wife heard that, my husband, he's a brahmana, Baba. He's peaceful. He's doesn't do any violence. How he can do that? And they left. The boys left. And she said, "Aaj to sabak sikhana padega." So they left. She cooked. And when Arjuna Acharya arrived, he got the shock of his life. How he saw that his wife was eating before him. This is normal now, right? But he got a shock because wife never eats before his husband. She waits for his husband. So he understood कि कुछ तो गड़बड़ है, तो अच्छे से व्यवहार करना पड़ेगा. So he asked, "What happened?" She said, "Nothing." This is what wives do always. They never say. You have to ask them 10 times, then they will say one time. What's the answer? Okay, nothing. And after begging, "Please tell what happened, Baba." What happened? You are such a heartless person. You are asking small boys to carry so much luggage. See how many groceries they brought. For the whole month, they have given us the groceries. Like, what groceries? I was doing Madhukari, getting some alms. I didn't send this grocery. Then who sent this? I don't know. Then he went to his room and he opened his book. And again, the karomi aham was slashed and was written, Vahame aham. I personally provide to my devotees who depended on me. And that mark, that slash, was the mark which is given by Arjuna Acharya by cutting that. By thinking that Kṛṣṇa arranges, but no, Kṛṣṇa arranges personally for his devotees. This is what Kṛṣṇa do. Personal, he is a personal. And he has feelings. And he wants to reciprocate with his devotees. And if we allow, then only we will feel the reciprocation. If we won't allow, we try to control the situation in our life, then how we will feel the presence? This is what Draupadi was facing. Draupadi was helpless. Sari khich raha hai koi. You can't imagine that. Somebody is trying to make you naked in front of the whole assembly. It's such a horrible scene. And who's doing that? Dushasan. And what's his strength? 100 elephants. I was seeing one video, one elephant, he picked up one rickshaw and he was throwing here and there, just like a paper. Itna bal hai elephant mein. And he has strength of 100 elephants. And he is pulling sari of Draupadi. And Draupadi, what she is doing? Trying to hold it. But how can she hold? Then what she does, she goes to her husband. And who are her husband? Bhima, the most powerful. Arjuna, Yudhishthir, Nakul, Sahadev. The most powerful personalities which are present in the universe, they were her husband. And they were what? Mundi niche. They can't do anything. She went to Dronacharya, Baba, Brahmana, you do something, helpless. She went to Bhishma Pitama, you do something, helpless. Then she thought, okay, no point. Then what she did? She held it like this and she said, Govinda, Govinda. And nothing. Kṛṣṇa didn't appear. Then she said, okay, there is no point on holding it. When she lifted both her hands, hey Govinda, then Kṛṣṇa appeared. And Kṛṣṇa gave what it was required. So we have to allow Kṛṣṇa in our life to do something. But we want to control everything. Every decision of our life we want to control. We want to control results also. That's why we are always in anxiety. Why we are in anxiety? Because we want to control the output of our work. But Kṛṣṇa says, you do your work, don't be attached to the result. This is not your area of interest. That's my area of interest. I will give what is necessary. And we accept this principle that Kṛṣṇa will provide because he is Suridam Sarva Bhutanam. He is well-wisher of each and every one. When we accept this principle, then we can be santushta, satisfied. And when one is satisfied, he is free from enviousness. Nirmat Saranam, he can be very, very simple. non-envious. And when one is non-envious, then he can understand Kṛṣṇa. But then he can get taste for Kṛṣṇa. Satam prasangam mama video samvido. Such a person can hear about Kṛṣṇa. Such a person will love to chant Kṛṣṇa's name. Such a person won't be sleeping during class, because for him it's nectar. For him it's nectar. And this is what we have to do. We have to understand this principle, not just kanthi mala ho gaya, 2 se 3 janev aa gaya, tulsi neem mala se tulsi mala ho gaya. This is just external. Initiation means now you are initiated to live a life as a devotee. It doesn't mean you have achieved something. Now you are given a chance to become a devotee. Brahman initiation. Now you are given a chance to develop brahmana qualities. You don't become brahmana by initiation. Now you are initiated. Abhi to shuru hua hai bhaiya. You have to now develop qualities. That we have to do every day. Develop qualities. And this is only possible in association of devotees. When you are at your home, nobody will correct you. But when you are in devotees, हर कोई खड़ा है आपके लिए, आपको correction देने के लिए. And once you tolerate that, accept that, and try to work on that, no problem. You will be purified. You will get mercy. Tolerate it, and still you do keep on doing your services. That's why this association of devotees is for what? Purify each other. Not for ishta, like ग्राम में कथा, इसके इधर क्या चल रहा है, अरे उसका शादी देखो ऐसा हो गया, उसका ये हो गया, उसके लिए नहीं है. Devotee association means you talk about Krishna consciousness. You help each other in Krishna consciousness. This is what Krishna Katha is. Otherwise, we can also in this bead bag and dhoti kurta, we can also do Grama Katha. Ajamil was a devotee, was worshipping Narayan. He fell down. So can't we fall down? We can also fall down. But if you are protected by devotees, it's very difficult to fall down. They will lift you up. They will give you mercy if you allow. So the first symptom that a devotee is going away from Kṛṣṇa, he goes away from devotees. He doesn't like to stay with devotees. This is the first symptom. He doesn't like to be with devotees. This is the first system that we are in Maya. We are chanting Hare Krishna. We are doing everything, but we don't like devotees. If you don't like devotees, it means you don't like Kṛṣṇa also. This is a principle. Because for Kṛṣṇa, devotees are very, very important. They are very dear to him. And he doesn't accept that. He will accept inconvenience for himself. But for his devotees, like Maharaj Amrish, he didn't left him. Like he protected him. And what was his name? Muni? Durvasa Muni. He has to run here and there. Not even Lord Shiva, not even Lord Brahma. No one could help him. Only Amrish Maharaj could help him. That's why we need to be very fortunate, like think that we are very fortunate that we are in this movement, we are in this society where by mercy of Prabhupada, the setup is there. Why this AC are being installed? Why? So that people can comfortably listen to Krishna Katha. Rather than doing this. Just hear Krishna Katha. Or if you use the same AC for Katha side mein thoda aaram kar lo. So Krishna is providing facility. This is mercy. Who can imagine? Devidanda Prabhu was here few days before. He was saying, even to turn on one fan, we had to think so many times. Now we have so many ACs to turn on. We don't even think now. Why? Because we have mercy. So we have to utilize this mercy and take the best use of it. And then we can go back to Godhead. And this is what our goal is. Together, not alone. What you will do with alone? You have to serve Krishna with devotees. You can't serve Krishna. You're not Radha Rani. I don't think we are Radha Rani. We have to serve Radha Rani. So we have to serve under someone. So if you can't accept authority here, how can you expect authority, following authority in the spiritual world? You can't. So everything is spiritual. This is what Krishna says. But depends on our consciousness, how we use it, it becomes material. This is what we have to understand. So it's 6:55. I will end here. If anyone has any questions or any comments, we can take. We have 5 minutes. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. You're asking from the purport? Yeah. Yes. From the bottom, 8th sentence. 1, 2, 3. Ha. Yeah, so we think this, we are this body. Illusory consciousness means material consciousness. I am this body. This is illusion. So we have to utilize this body and engage in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, then it will become Kṛṣṇa consciousness. We are using this body. We are not this body. तो छोड़ के जाना है. But we are using this body to complete this life with devotional service. If you don't do that, then we will be always in material consciousness. We will die thinking that I am this body. And then you will take again birth. But if you die that I am servant of Kṛṣṇa, with this body, you will go back to Godhead. So this is how it transforms, by engaging this material thing in service of Kṛṣṇa. This is how the transformation takes place.
Since you are referring the text 22 during your discussion, I will ask that question from the 22.
Yeah.
In the purport, it is mentioned, he is therefore independent in his livelihood from the top fifth sentence.
So he is therefore independent of his livelihood.
Yeah, and he does not allow anyone's service to hamper his own service in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. So what is this quote?
So we will read from the starting. A Kṛṣṇa conscious person does not make much endeavor even to maintain his body. We have example of Madhavendra Puri, Ajgar Vritti. He accepted what was coming there. Okay. And he was not like so much focused on gathering alms and Madhukari. We have example of Raghunath Das Goswami. On for 2-3 days only some buttermilk. That's it. So they were not so much worried about their maintenance. Okay. And they're just only worried about their devotional service. They have so much focus on that. So devotee, they will always protect their devotional service. They will always protect their sadhana. They will never like to get disturbed unless it's important in relation to Kṛṣṇa. Just like I'm chanting Hare Krishna and devotee comes. कल मैच में क्या हुआ? इंडिया पाकिस्तान का? हाँ मैं भी देखता हूँ. So this is like an obstruction, like a deviation. But he said, Prabhu, this is not the time, later on, and this is not Kṛṣṇa consciousness, you avoid it, and you don't like to hamper your service towards Kṛṣṇa of chanting. This is Kṛṣṇa consciousness. So we are always, just like we have to mold our life in such a way, we have to take decision in our life where our Kṛṣṇa consciousness can increase rather than going down. If we are here in this Vrindavan Dham, not to increase our Kṛṣṇa consciousness, just for a retirement plan, so it will be a retirement plan. So we have to plan our life in such a way that where we increase our Kṛṣṇa consciousness. We have to associate with such devotees where our Kṛṣṇa consciousness increases. And we have to make those decisions. Avoid which degrades our consciousness and take association which advances our consciousness. This is what a devotee does. He is not bothered of his livelihood. He knows Kṛṣṇa will provide. Kṛṣṇa is providing elephants. Those are not devotees. I am a devotee. Kṛṣṇa will provide me. And all devotees have that experience, I think so personally, that Kṛṣṇa is providing. So this is what it means, what I understood from the lecture and from the purport. Yes? He does not allow anyone's service to hamper his own service. Yeah. Like, if you are in management, devotees कुछ हो गया एकदम anxiety में आ जाते हैं. Prabhu. Bhai हुआ क्या? Relax. And they try to give their anxiety to us. And बोल दिया and they are free. Abhi I have no tension. Now you take the headache. So we have the capacity sometimes that by Kṛṣṇa's will we have some capacity to handle that anxiety. But sometimes it might be too much for us that we are not able to chant our rounds. Too much services can disturb our sadhana also. So what's the point? You are crazy if you do too much service but no chanting. You are lazy if you are doing only chanting but no service. So this is how, crazy and lazy. And there is no place for crazy and lazy in the society. So we have to protect our devotional like sadhana. Because if our sadhana is proper, then we can do some service. If our service is proper, then we can chant nicely. So both are interlinked. So we have to protect that. Nothing should disturb it. I give you one small example. When I was coming to Kṛṣṇa consciousness, at my home I have dogs, 2 dogs, okay. One of the dog ran away from the house. My mother called me, कुत्ता भाग गया. And I am hearing Bhagavad Katha. अब माँ बोल रही है कि घर पे आ कुत्ते को ढूंढने के लिए. What should I do? Take the anxiety and go to search a dog, or should I listen Krishna Katha? So such situation comes. कोई कहेगा माँ का कहानी माना. Some people can say, but this was more important practically. So anything should not disturb our devotional service, and we need to protect it anyhow. So those who are grahasthas and those who want to be a brahmachari, they know how to slowly get out of it, such entanglements. Okay, Prabhu, if you have more questions, we will discuss personally. Because if everybody is okay with it, I can take your question. But no problem? Okay, Prabhu, please.
During your class, you give the example that one doesn't want to see the Lord, the door is closed. Then they said that Lord is tired. Then the person say, no, Lord cannot be tired. It's correct, right?
Yeah, but what to do? He is our dear one. Lord doesn't need bath, but still we bathe him. Why? Because this is what we love to do. We need to personally take care of the Lord. Kṛṣṇa is going to the forest with the barefoot. Why? Because cows are walking barefoot. A mother Yashoda is taking tension. अरे कांटा छुप जाएगा मेरे बेटे को, कोई जानवर खा लेगा. Why this anxiety? Because they don't think Kṛṣṇa is Supreme Personality. They think Kṛṣṇa is my dear one, my son. So this is what bhav of a devotee is. He is very small, he is very komal, he has soft foot. So we need to take care of him. So we take care of him personally, not like an object for our needs. Like we have na mandir sometimes. पैसा नहीं दिया वो पर्दा लगा देते हैं. No donation, no darshan. So it's an offense in Vrindavan Dham to use deity worship as a means for your business, as a livelihood. So people do that, what to do? But we don't do that. The guests are here to see Kṛṣṇa. Okay, please see Kṛṣṇa. But Kṛṣṇa also needs some rest. Unless we are in Jagannath Puri, where Kṛṣṇa was asked by our king, Indradumna Maharaj? What was his name? Indradumna Maharaj. That please, you give darshan 24 hours. So still he gives 22, 23 hour darshan, and 1 hour is some gap. So that's a special place. But we take care of Kṛṣṇa as a person. He needs rest, and Pujari also needs rest. The 24 घंटा altar भी बैठा रहना पड़ेगा. So but main thing is we take Kṛṣṇa as a person, not as an object. That's why. We कितने बार उसको खिलाते हम Kṛṣṇa को? Morning में भोगा. I don't know what they offer you. They offer rasmalai, rabdi and rasgulla and sweet and so many things. Morning mein, who eats that? But Kṛṣṇa eats that. Then again at 7, he again takes some offering. Then again at 8:30, he again takes offering. Then Raj Bhog. Itna khane ke baad fir se Raj Bhog. Then again at 4, he again eat. And now again he will be eating now. And again while sleeping, he again eats. This is Kṛṣṇa. And he eats so much. And we have to serve him as a person. And an envious person cannot understand that. Very difficult. Nautanki unko lagega. But a devotee can understand that. Kṛṣṇa needs rest. Yeah. So that's a different thing, which you have to experience yourself. Okay. So, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki, Samasta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hare Kṛṣṇa.